Hello. How's it going, man? That's you. Oh my God, he's frozen. Yeah, he's frozen. He's frozen. No, it's okay. See, it's aiming out this way. So it looks like he's just frozen on camera, guys. So we are doing my Nom 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 kit. I'm here at Cadre again with Evan. So thank you so much for having me here, buddy. But unfortunately, Cadre is closed right now. Hopefully opening up again for some things in the future, maybe hypothetically, but I know you don't want to promise. But Liliana's is open, and my kitchen was being used right now, so Evan was so nice to let us in. So thank you, Evan, appreciate it. And he is going to be my filmographer today, so that's kind of fun and exciting. So yeah, I'm going to hand it over, and I'll just kind of talk about what we're doing. So we're doing a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different pans. We're making Farmer John aged cheddar grits with sassy cow milk. We're going to do some sauteed, just fresh spinach, mushrooms, and tomatoes. We're going to make some meatballs, and we're going to do a little Creole Meunier with that. So basically, my play on all this was that I wanted to do kind of a play on Swedish meatballs. When we first started our Nom 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 kits, we had talked to so many different farmers, and all of them were saying, like, help us. We have got too much product. We've got all this meat. Our restaurant market completely dried up, and we don't know what to do. And now, all the farmers we've gone to for meat have been like, so you want ground beef or what? That's about all I got.
If that. Yeah.
Right? So we're able to. I wanted to think about, like, what are some things that we can do that are really fun and exciting. That isn't just a hamburger with ground beef, but it is absolutely gorgeous ground beef that we got. And then we also this week are doing a second course. We're doing some just an asparagus bisque with some fresh asparagus. And what I really wanted is to just showcase how good the asparagus is. It's in season right now, in peak. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's growing off the hook right now because it's got just beautiful season, beautiful weather, perfect amount of moisture.
All that rain that came, it's going to make it shoot up.
It's been shooting up like crazy. We talked to one of the farmers. He just picked 750 pounds yesterday, and he's got another 1,000 pounds he's picking tomorrow. So that's what he's picking for us. So we're going to make basically an asparagus soup. We're going to make some grits, and we're going to make some wilted spinach going with our meatballs, and there's our sauce for it. So to start off, what we're going to do is we're just going to take, and we're using sassy cow milk. Love these guys.
Yep, ours are backwards. I'm sorry, I do that.
It's okay.
I do that every time.
It's like, just so you know, guys, if you're not chefs, this is the equivalent of a USB cable. So like wherever these are, it's either one or the other. It's like USB cable. You got to try them both every time.
This is my restaurant, and I still do it the wrong way every time.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually start 2 pans at the same time, and I'm just going to use up equal parts of the milk into both of the containers. One of them is going to be for our grits, and one of them is going to be for our asparagus soup. And then we're going to take our cream, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take, and your guys won't come in a fancy container. Sassy Cow is awesome, but they are running low on these guys. So your cream is still going to be Sassy Cow. It'll sub a sticker, but it'll be in a deli container. And we're just going to, again, mix it up about half and half. Just our milk and cream.
And these are 4-quart pots, by the way.
Oh,
if you guys are looking for economy of scale.
And then over here, I've just got some butter, and we're going to include this with you guys. This is our jalapeno honey butter that we use at Liliana's, and we're actually going to use some of that both in our grits, and we're going to use it in our soup. We're going to use both of them, and then we're just going to save a little bit, and that's going to be what we use in our saute of our veg. And by the way, that's a little bit of butter in chef talk, right? So we're going to get that going, and we want it just to kind of come to a simmer, both of those. So we're just going to let them kind of sit over heat. And while those are sitting over heat, we're going to make up our meatballs. So super straightforward meatball. We're not doing anything too crazy. We're just going to take our 2 pounds of beef. And I am all about simplicity in cooking. So we're just going to do that. We're going to do some Cajun seasoning over the top. And we're going to do a little panko. And
that was about, what, half the container
about half
provided?
The container. And we're going to save some of that for the...
just wanted to warn people so they don't go on autopilot, dump the whole thing in.
So a lot of people ask, like, why do you bother putting panko into your meatballs? And what they're going to do is they're going to help the meatball be less dense, just like me.
Also, they soak up some of
the moisture,
beefy juices, so they don't just all fly out of there.
Beefy juices.
Beefy juices.
Hashtag beefy juices.
That was the name of my band in high school.
Was it really?
No.
Hashtag beefy juices.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, you got the beautiful beard for it. I feel like if you have a band called Beefy Juices, you should definitely have a beard like yours, you know? And actually, we're going to add just a little bit more of that Cajun. I only used about a third the first time. We're going to bring it down to a whole half of it we'll use. So about half the container of Cajun seasoning in there. And you just want to keep on kind of kneading it until all of your panko has been sucked up and until you don't see it on the outside anymore. So see how you can still see those flakes? We just want to keep kneading it until we don't see those anymore.
Dave's currently channeling his massage school years.
I am. Also, my pottery years. So I did pottery. So this is how you work your dough.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
I tell people I'm like a chubby James Bond. Fly a plane, massage therapy. So let your bread dough rest. Just kidding. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our meat and we're just gonna kind of portion it up into rough, even balls. And this
you have to karate chop it, folks.
Yeah, karate chop.
It's required.
Chop the balls. I don't know if I can say that on Facebook Live. And we're just gonna get roughly all the same size. Split them in half, and I like little smaller ones, and they don't need to be perfect. You just want to have some nice little balls. Evan likes filming because he doesn't have to roll meatballs. He can just sit there and stare. And you can drink whiskey. You can reach over and grab your whiskey.
Well, yep, I did.
Always come prepared with whiskey.
I did remove my mask for the purposes of drinking whiskey.
We originally were gonna have him be a mask the whole time, and then we realized that he wouldn't be able to partake in whiskey, and that was too bad.
It's an assumed risk.
It is an assumed risk.
Some people say that whiskey cures COVID.
Do they?
It might not be true, but why take a chance?
You'll at least enjoy it more. So if you get a ball like this that's bigger than the other ones, just take a pinch off of it and then re-roll it again. You want to keep them about the same size consistency-wise, just so they all cook at about the same temp. So if you feel it's a little bigger, just kind of keep a reserve pile of meat. And they don't have to be exact, but you just want them to be close enough. So we're just gonna, that was why we kind of karate chopped.
I'm firmly in agreement with you about sort of the tactic with meatballs, because as cool as it is, like when you go to the Italian place and there's like the one enormous meatball, like it's actually really hard to do, because by the time that's cooked in the middle, you have just destroyed the outer inch of the whole thing.
Well, and the other thing that's really tough too is that the sauce can only touch the surface area of the meat that you're cooking it in. So if you've got a really yummy sauce, you're not going to be able to taste the sauce all the way through into the middle of the ball. So we're just going to do a couple more, and we'll save some of these meatballs just for sake of cooking. So while we're doing that, I'm just going to go quick wash my hands. Evan's going to do a quick musical interlude.
Oh dear God!
Yep, gotta sing, man.
Oh, I'm not set up for show tunes. So where did the beef come from for this one?
It is from Drain 20280, and it's a local farm, and she has like literally the 500 pounds we're using.
Emergency, danger. We said simmer.
Uh-oh.
Don't be us.
But hey, now is the perfect time for us to cool it down really quick with our asparagus. So we're going to cool it down with our asparagus right here. And then we can put it back on heat just at a really low simmer. So just really light heat there. This one's about to come up too. So now this is the important thing with your polenta. You want to add the Cajun seasoning to it ahead of time. You want to season this perfectly before you add your polenta. Once you add the polenta, it's really hard to...
So you like to take it to the sodium level that you want to achieve?
Yes.
And you assume that it's a wash with the polenta?
Yeah, so the polenta adds almost no additional salt, seasoning, flavor, etc.
Oh. And back up.
We're
backing up.
Backing it up.
Backing it up.
Backing it up. Beautiful.
There's salt, and you have to grab the pepper from over there.
Perfect. We're going to add just a little bit of salt in here too. You really want the seasoning on this to be spot on when you're making it. And you want this to be at a really nice simmer before you add the polenta. Otherwise you're just going to be stirring it and it'll clump on you. So if you want good smooth grits that aren't lumpy, That's the key. You got to have it be at a simmer as you're whisking. So
I'm learning more about grits right now. I always did an oven method for mine because
you know what they call that? They call that the Yankee method.
The Yankee method?
Yeah, I'm also from the south of Madison. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I'm good. So here we go. We're just going to put in our... And this is a beautiful... You know, one of the things that's really hard to find up here is a really great consistency polenta. Usually, you can only find the stuff you get at the store, which is a super fine ground cornmeal.
Now, what we get? This is from Meadowlark Organics. Oh,
yeah.
Sweet. That's great.
And so they are literally grinding it as this video is being taped.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be the freshest ground grits you're ever going to have.
Local grains are a thing that traditionally don't get a lot of love. That I think the quality difference is just outstanding. Beans too. Anything in that category.
Totally.
Like all of the things that you get at a grocery store that are dried that you're like, oh, why would it be better if it's local? It is. It still is. Like fresh actually matters, and
fresh actually matters.
Local matters, even with dried things. It makes a huge difference.
So what we're gonna do is once we've stirred the crap out of this, and that's a technical chef term. Once we stir the crap out of it, and we've really made sure that we don't have any clumps, just whisk it really well. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna take one of these beautiful decorative pots.
Other side.
Other side. We're gonna take one of these beautiful decorative pots here, and we're just gonna put it on top.
We're lidding it.
We're just lidding it. It's called the chef lid. It's like take any pot you have and put it over the top.
We don't actually have lids.
Yeah, we don't have lids. I literally, every time I get a lid with a new pot, I literally just take it and throw it away. Or recycle it. Okay, so we're going to let this still simmer. This is our asparagus soup that we've got right here. And we're going to turn this skillet over here onto high. And we're going to let that come up to temp. And then the other thing we're going to do, well, we'll do that again. Now we're going to take our butter. It's more of that jalapeno honey butter. And we're going to put that right into our skillet and let that melt. Normally you'd want to have stuff be as hot as possible before you throw it into saute in a pan, but with butter, we don't want our butter solids to burn.
Brown right out of the gate.
And there's honey in here too, which is going to caramelize kind of quickly, so we want it to kind of melt a little bit and not be like ripping hot so it burns. And then we're going to put in the things that have the least amount of moisture first, so that they can caramelize in that butter a little bit. So these are those beautiful mushrooms that are in your kit. We just chopped them up a little bit. And we're going to throw in just a little bit of salt over the top of it. There you go, fun chef tip. I know Evan knows this, but a lot of people, when they see people doing that fun flippy stuff on saute, they think we're doing this. No, man, you gotta just pull back on your pan, and it's gonna make it jump for you. My wife loved it when I was in culinary school and learning how to do this in my kitchen at home. She loved it. She thought it was pretty great.
If anybody wants to practice that on their own time, rice. Rice is great. Dried rice. You'll be angry when you have to pick it up off the floor, but that was my trick. So I was already pretty good at sautéing when I went to culinary school.
Yeah.
But I'd never had to use my left hand, and that was like when you walk in cocky about your ability to sauté in culinary school, they're like, "Oh yeah, how about your other hand?" And so I had to learn how to left-handed sauté.
We're gonna throw in really quick. We're gonna throw in those tomatoes, and we just gave them a nice rough chop. We just want them to kind of cook down a little bit, and we're going to add a little bit more salt on top. And then we're going to take our spinach that we got, and all we're going to do is we're just going to literally rip it and just set it on top, and we're going to let the steam from the tomatoes and the mushrooms just wilt our spinach for us. And then all we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat off of that puppy. And we're just going to let it sit, and we're going to let that steam just slowly set. Because if I just stir in all that spinach right now, in with those tomatoes and mushrooms, it's going to get soggy, right? And I still want to have some texture left on that spinach. So now we're going to do one last thing to the grits, and then we're going to pause our Facebook Live and come back with how to plate up the dish. All we're going to do is we're going to take that Farmer John cheddar that's included in your kit. We just put it over a microplane, but you can just shred it with a box grater. You can do whatever you want. And we're just going to kind of fold in with our whisk all of that cheese.
How would you describe the perfect consistency for grits?
The perfect consistency for grits is that if I shake it, it should settle in my pan. But if I put a whisk in it, it should be able to stand straight up.
Okay.
Cool. So, you know, if you go to the South, sometimes you'll get grits that are just like soup, and sometimes you'll get them where they're just like stiff. But you see how after I whisk them up, they kind of fall back down? That's what we're looking for. So we're just gonna knock the grits out of here, and then we're gonna pause, and when I come back, we're gonna finish the asparagus soup, and we're gonna show you the meatballs. What? Let's go back to Evan again. Here we go. Okay, say goodbye. Say so long, farewell.